Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to look at properties of combo box in detail. If you have seen my yesterday's video where I showed how we can create a dynamic list of worksheets where we can select any worksheet by selecting from the list in combo box. But we will look at more detail the properties today. So we'll start quickly clicking on Developer tab, Insert, ActiveX Controls, second option, ActiveX Combo Box. Right now you can resize it as whatever you like. Okay, so the name appears Combo Box 1. Now you can click here and click on Properties. It will show the Properties window. You can also right click on here and see Properties. So these are the two ways you can look at the properties. Right. Now I have listed here the properties that I'm going to cover today because there are a lot of properties. We will divide it in two parts. So this is what we are going to cover topics today. Now starting at from the top, as you can see, we have these properties in two different ways. One is alphabetically. So you have all these properties alphabetically sorted. Second is categorized. So you have appearance, how the appearance will be of combo box, what will be its behavior. So some options in it. So like similarly the data. So right, these are all the options same, but it's just the way they are categorized, or I mean they're shown in the alphabetically order. Right. Now if we start with the first thing in the properties, it's the name. So by default, because this is the first combo box in my workbook, I'm getting combo box 1, right? But you can change it whatever you want to. It's not necessary to even keep the combo box. So let's say training 1. So that is also allowed. So any name you can give, right? And now we will look at first how we can fill the list, right? So there are two ways you can fill the list. One is by writing the range. So for example, my range is B7 to B16, right? So I'll write the range here, B7 to D16, right? Now you can also write B16 here if you just want first column in your list of combo box always, but I'll write D16 here and I'll show you how we can use it. Okay, now linked cell. So this is the range from where the list will be coming up in combo box, and linked cell is where the output will come. So whatever you select in the combo box, the output will come. So I'm selecting F2, right? So I'll just off the design mode and show you. So let's say if you select Andrew, it will come Andrew here. So this is the output. Linked cell is the output where it will come, and list fill is where this will populate the list from. So these are two very important, always necessary in most of the combo boxes that you will be using, right? Now, if we come to the next property, which is important and useful, is back color. No, so right now it is white color, and let's say I change it to any other color. So you can change color from this palette, for example, green, or you can change from the system colors, right? So these are two options. Now, if we come to back style, so this is opaque or transparent. So if you do transparent, you will see what is behind, right? So for example, if I show you, if I have grid lines here, then you will see the grid lines here, right? But if you also notice that in transparent, the color will go off. So if I do opaque, I'll get the color back and the grid lines won't be visible, right? After that, the next option is border color. So as pretty self-explanatory, you can select the color of the border. So let's say I'm selecting red, and the border style by default is none. So I'll have to select single. So now you can see there is a border which is red color. Okay. And bound column, right? So we'll now come to this bound column. So what is bound column is the value that you want from your selection. So as you noticed, I selected three columns in the range, right? And right now it is 1 by default. If I change this to 2, so in F2 you would get the value from the second column, right? So because Andrew is developer, I'm getting developer here. And if I change this, let's say I'm doing Carol. Carol is also developer. I'll do Brian, right? So you can see Brian now analyst is coming. Similarly, if you select bound 3, bound column 3, so you will get the ranks here in output. Now, if you notice right now, I just have the names here. Even I have selected three columns in the range, right? So what is this happening is, um, because the column count is 1 here, I'm only seeing first column. If I change this to 2, you would notice that I start getting 2 columns. Okay. And if I change this to 3, column count 3, you would see that I have now all the 3 columns. Okay. Similarly, column heads is right now by default false. But if I change this to true, so even though the headers are not in my range, like headers are in row 6, but here my list is filling from B7 to D16, right? Even then also you would see headers in the combo box. So this is very useful. Okay. And one thing I didn't mention you is auto size, right? So what auto size does is basically it changes the size of the combo box depending on the text you have selected. So for example, right now it is Catherine ABC. If I change auto size to true, you can see the size decreased, right? If I again change it to some smaller name like Carol, so the size will again decrease, right? So this way you can change the size of the column automatically. But yeah, I prefer to keep it as false. Okay, now we have seen bound column, we have seen column count, column header. Now we'll come to drop down style. So drop down button style is basically what arrow you are seeing here. Okay. So right now it's arrow. That's why you are seeing arrow here. If I change this to plain, you would see there is nothing here now. Similarly, if I change this to ellipsis, you would see there are three dots here. And if I change this to reduce, you would see there is a minus sign here. Okay. After that, the next option is enabled. So this is very simple, whether you want to keep the combo box enabled or not. So if it's disabled, I can't do anything, right? If I enable it, only then I'll be able to change the inputs there. Okay. After that, we will see important and very useful feature, that is fonts. So right now it's Calibri, but if you click on this, you would get all the options. Let's say I want to change it to curls, regular, or bold, and then 18, right? So this way you can change the fonts. And another thing is font colors. So similarly, this is named as four color, but this is for font color. So you can change font colors from here. For example, I select red. So now I have red fonts. Okay. So you can just, go around all this. That's it for this video. I'll be sharing the remaining properties in my next video. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and share it with your friends and family so they can also learn this amazing stuff. Thank you very much and have a great day.